And now, iHeartRadio presents the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida.
If you want to crown them, then crown them. They are who we thought they were.
Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome to the Sunshine State's only authentic sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics that are important to you, the sports fans in the state of Florida. We are Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. I am Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, the sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. That man right over there is Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports talk radio. Did you change your shirt, Kravitz, because you had a stain on your old one?
I did. Appreciate the fine folks at Fiorenzo's in the Hyatt Regency Orlando for dropping off some lasagna. I liked it so much, I thought I'd wear it. But it didn't really look good on the live stream, so I decided to change my shirt. I'm repping our sister station, Real Radio 104.1, because we have run out of 96.9 The Game t-shirts.
Prodigy of production, primetime Jaden Grimes. Did you spill lasagna on your shirt too?
No, but I'm still eating cake. I had to run over back to the mic.
All right, we are live in Orlando, our home base, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, all points in between on the iHeartRadio app. We want to hear from you throughout the course of the show. Many ways to communicate with us. We prefer either the Mills Air text line, 50857, or the talkback line on the iHeartRadio app. Do we have any prizes to give away today?
We do. We have a pair of prizes. We have Caribe Royale boxing tickets. We'll give away a pair of those. That's for tomorrow night's event at Caribe Royale. Phenomenal atmosphere. That'll be at the end of the hour. And then we also have one final pair of Florida State, Kent State tickets to give away as well. We'll do that at the back end of the 4 o'clock hour.
Oh, sounds good. Let's get to the highlights and the headlines. All right, we'll delve into this game deeper maybe in our next segment. But the Dolphins travel to the Buffalo Bills tonight. Line. Last I saw, it was Dolphins are 12.5-point underdogs. That's got to be a misprint, does it not, Brandon Kravitz? Because from my calculations, the Dolphins are the biggest underdog in the league this week. They're a bigger underdog than the Browns against the Packers.
Well, the Browns have shown at least 1 week of good defensive play. They got blasted by the Ravens, and they're at home. So that usually curries favor with the odds makers. It's sitting at 12 right now on the Hard Rock Sportsbook app.
Oh my God.
I don't think it's inaccurate. That seems like a fair line to me. The Bills are one of the top 3 teams in the NFL, and the Dolphins right now, go find a power ranking that anybody has put out that doesn't have them as the 32nd best team in the NFL right now. And if they're accurate,
dead last
in most of the power rankings, not power ratings, those are two different things. But in terms of the ranking of the quality of team that a lot of people think the Miami Dolphins are, most of the rankings that I've looked at have the Dolphins at 32. If you look at the power ratings, which is how a lot of these lines are created, I do my own because I've become sort of obsessed with the matter. I have the Bills as a 13-point favorite, so I actually think the market's off by a point. I think the Bills are even better than this.
Wow. All right, let's talk about the Buccaneers. Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield was asked yesterday to recount his 3rd and 10 scramble against the Houston Texans, in which he got caught by defensive end Will Anderson Jr., immediately clutched his left leg, then sprang up and started jawing with safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Listen to Mayfield's comment when asked his mentality in that situation.
Sprang right back up and just started jawing with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Just what's the mentality like in those moments for you?
We don't take it. That's about it.
We don't take any, you know what? We don't take any S word. Kravitz, Baker Mayfield is rapidly turning into my favorite player in the National Football League. He is my favorite player.
How can he not be? I'm so happy for Bucs fans right now. This is all you want as a fan. Outside of winning the Super Bowl, I think the thing that most fans want, really in their heart of hearts, perhaps even more than winning, though they'll never say it out loud, is just having a team that you're proud of and that you want to root for. I think Magic fans have experienced that over the last couple of years. This Magic team has been one that's been very easy to root for. They play harder than everybody else. They have very likable characters, and they're not afraid to get into their opponents' faces. Baker Mayfield is that in an NFL form. If I'm a Bucs fan, I'd run through a wall for this guy. I would have a Baker Mayfield jersey. I'd be buying my kids and my dogs Baker Mayfield jerseys. He is everything you want as a fan because he makes you proud to be a fan of that particular team.
Everybody loves a quarterback or leader of the team, and especially if he's a little bit undersized like Baker Mayfield is. You love an undersized guy who has fire, vinegar, is a tough guy, is not backing down from the big boys.
Almost sounds like Bianchi's looking in the
bulldog.
glass.
He's a bulldog is what he is. He's a little bulldog.
That's why you like him. You see you in Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
You count me out
right.
because of my stature. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. And he's got
You know who Baker Mayfield is? He's you when you were 21 years old at your birthday celebration. See him, one of his buddies, he thinks is in danger, and he comes up behind the guy and he takes him to the floor. That's Baker Mayfield.
That's right. I bet Baker Mayfield has done exactly that in his past. And the Browns gave up on this guy. Can you believe it? After all these, they're going through quarterback hell again. If they had just seen it through, they would have this guy still on their team, but they couldn't wrap their arms fully around him.
Speaking of diminutive quarterbacks, Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray apologized yesterday for a social media post that included a photo of him wearing a retro Virginia Tech Michael Vick jersey while posing with one of his two pit bulls. Here's Kyler Murray talking about it.
Yeah. In no way, shape, or form do I, condone, animal cruelty or dog fighting, whatever it is. For me personally, y'all saw me wear the Michael Vick jersey, a player that I admire very much growing up. And then, being home with my pup who, my dog Trunks and Swoosh, they both get treated like kings. So it's not like, I'm in no way, shape, or form am I condoning that. But yes, I saw how it affected people and, decided to take it down. Yeah.
Kravitz. Well, what was he thinking? What was he thinking that he's going to post a picture with a pit bull wearing a Michael Vick jersey? Why did he post that?
That has to be just a massive lack of awareness of the situation, and I don't think that Kyler Murray didn't know what happened with Michael Vick. That was such massive news when it went down, and he would have been old enough at the time to understand what was going on.
Michael Vick fan. He was a Michael Vick fan, so obviously he must have known.
Right. All of us. I was a Michael Vick fan. Who wasn't? Especially growing up. I mean, he was the coolest player in the NFL before everything hit the fan with the dog allegations and that story. So I just think he didn't put two and two together. I don't think he did this purposefully because that's stupid. I think it shows more of a lack of awareness than anything else. That Michael Vick Virginia Tech jersey, though, that is a nice jersey. That is a really nice jersey.
If he'd have just had his picture taken with the jersey, without the dog.
I know.
Right?
It would be akin to taking a picture with your wife wearing an O.J. Simpson jersey, okay? Just
By the way,
does that go too hard?
Yes, that's probably an analogy. But I want to ask you this: when we have OJ, the Miami Dolphins OJ on every week,
the good one. Yep.
I was thinking about asking him, did he ever get any flack during the whole OJ Simpson,
for being an OJ?
For being an OJ, yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I
bet he did.
I guess there are people out there that just see OJ and just assume that it's the same person. You're a football player with the name OJ.
No, because I was listening to their broadcast, their pregame show on our station the other day, and one of the other members of the broadcast team was calling him Juice. So I guess that's his nickname is Juice as well. So yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to get his perspective on that.
Yeah,
No?
I mean, I have the last name Kravitz. I share much with Lenny. Not a lot of people.
You do share a lot with Abner Kravitz, the old nosy neighbor on Bewitched. Abner.
Hello.
All right.
I have lasagna on my shirt, Mike. You want to see this, by the way? For those that are watching on the live stream, you can watch on YouTube. You see this big lasagna stain right there on the Under Armour shirt.
Okay, for our listeners, would it be a bad, insensitive question for me to ask OJ McDuffie if he ever got any flack about being an OJ during the OJ Simpson murder trial?
I say no.
Yeah, I think you're safe. I just don't know what people. I don't know where you're going with that though. Like, do you think people gave him a hard time because of his name?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
All right. Well,
and I think maybe he thought about even changing his name at that time. I'm just speculating. No,
it is one of the more infamous names that's out there, so it is certainly possible. Coming up next, you mentioned it, Dolphins-Bills tonight. The Dolphins are massive underdogs. This could be an all-out blowout. If it is this the last of Mike McDaniel? We'll get to that after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
It's the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi, and I am pumped up about what's going on at Don Mealy Chevrolet. It's a Silverado extravaganza. Because it's truck month at Chevy, that means you can save over $11,000 on a 2025 Silverado 1500 at Don Mealy Chevrolet, right out there in Claremont. They've got more than 60 in stock, from the tough, dependable Silverado work truck to the top of the line high country. So there's a Silverado for every budget and every lifestyle. Come see the truck experts today at Don Mealy Chevrolet. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Let's talk about Pizza Bruno. This place is top notch. I mean, nuts. Sorry, I can't get the garlic knots out of my head. You want meatballs, you want salads, you want fresh ingredients in every single mouth-watering bite. Pizza Bruno is your spot. Try my personal favorite, the spicy Stetson, crunchy pepperoni, big dollops of ricotta cheese, and hot honey. It is so good. 3 locations in Central Florida, Edgewater, Maitland, and on Curry Ford Road. Visit pizzabruno.fl.com and work up an appetite.
Hoping your ride is a safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Right now, a very heavy delay westbound of the 408. All lanes blocked at Colonial Drive. Eastbound, we're clear, however. East and westbound of I-4 is also incident-free, other than your usual stop-and-go flow that's approaching 535. We're clear north and south of the Greenway at this time, and no issues reported on the Turnpike either. North and south of the 429 toll is moving along fine as well. Al Raveline Instant Oil Change. Traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
The ultimate celebration of music.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is happening tomorrow and Saturday.
Live in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. 16 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
And listen live on the free iHeartRadio app.
Tomorrow and Saturday, starting at 10:30.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farrah and Farrah at 800-500-5555. Orlando.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be part of a legacy that never stops. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
Hey, I'm your mountain bike. Been a minute since we hit the trail. Why not roll me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that keeps us all moving. Donate today. On your left. To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Small businesses are the heart of America. Like you, these entrepreneurs started out with a dream and the drive to build a better life. If you have a small business idea to grow or challenge to face, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1964, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses. Today, they are the nation's largest nonprofit source of expert mentoring, resources, and education. Whether you're starting out, building back, or have worked at it for years, SCORE will match you with specialized mentors. Our thousands of volunteers provide the guidance and connections you need for free. Your success is waiting. SCORE is ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Betting exchanges have become the new craze in sports betting, and there is no one on the internet that does it better than BetterEdge. So transparent, so honest, so user-friendly. BetterEdge gives you that little extra advantage that you need. I've said it many times. I've bet on sports for a while. I did not start making money consistently until I started using BetterEdge. I also share competitions every Friday that we can dive into together as well. My Beat Brandon Challenge. Sign up for the first time, get $20 on the house. Just use the promo code BeatBrandon when you sign up at betteredge.com or on the BetterEdge app.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
We are Orlando Sports Leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
The NFL is off to a wild start.
Touchdown pass number 508 for Aaron Rodgers.
And the new season lives on iHeartRadio.
Touchdown Denver.
Local stations bring you the action live.
Touchdown Chargers.
Plus, fantasy advice and expert analysis with the official NFL Podcast Network.
Everything you love about football is on the iHeartRadio app.
Touchdown.
Just search NFL to dive in.
Hey, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, just a short drive from Orlando, right there next to Claremont. Mission Resort is renowned for its 2 stunning championship golf courses. I especially love El Campeon, the Champion. It was founded in 1917. It is one of the most tradition-steeped courses in the Southeast. Book your tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Bianchi sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. But there's more than just golf. You can also play pickleball, tennis, rent a boat at the marina, and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. Also, Mission Resort would like to invite everyone out to the Howey Artesian Market, your local destination for all things handmade and homemade, on September 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., rain or shine. Make hotel reservations, golf tee times, and get information on the Artesian Market at missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, your next great escape is closer than you think.
The new home for the Miami Dolphins is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz rolls right along. AM 930 in Jacksonville. You can find us there. FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee, and right here, home base in Orlando, Florida, on FM 96.9 The Game, streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, video feed available on YouTube. Search 96.9 The Game, no spaces. And we are also streaming live on Twitter at 96.9 Game On. So you can find us everywhere. What was that you were just mumbling?
So I'm glad you reminded me of that.
Oh, yes, of course. That's what I'm here for, Mike. It is time now for our daily coach quote of the day. It is a long story to get to a solid point, so follow me here. Our daily source of inspiration and motivation. Today's lesson comes from Dolly Parton's dad. On the day of the unveiling of Dolly Parton's statue, Dolly's father, Robert Lee Parton, was in attendance for the wonderful tribute. Lee was a simple man, a hardworking country man who never went to school. He never learned how to read. He never learned how to write. That never stopped him from being a tremendous inspiration in Dolly's life. And at the ceremony, Lee was just beaming with pride as he watched his young daughter accept this incredible honor of having a statue in the middle of the town. But afterwards, he reminded Dolly of a valuable lesson, and this is the quote of the day. Now, to your fans out there, you might be some sort of an idol, but to them pigeons, you ain't nothing but another outhouse. That is a great lesson. That is a great fatherly quote. You're special. Don't get me wrong. And you're special to a lot of people, but to everyone else, you ain't nothing. So don't walk around like you're too big for your britches.
That's right, because a pigeon will poop on you just like he'll poop on the homeless guy down at the intersection, right?
Pigeons don't care.
No.
Mother Nature doesn't care. We are all just children of the earth is the general point of that story. Well, I love that
Dust
quote.
in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind.
I have a Mount Rushmore I'm going to do later on in the show. It is not the Mount Rushmore of Dolly Parton's songs. I can tell you that. One more time. One more time for those that want to write this one down. To your fans out there, you might be some sort of an idol, but to them pigeons, you ain't nothing but another outhouse. I think to a lot of Dolphins fans, Mike McDaniel is an outhouse at this point. Today could be the day. It could be D-Day for Mike McDaniel. It feels like this is the prevailing storyline going into tonight, is that if the Miami Dolphins get blown out, if they are non-competitive, if it feels like this Dolphins team gives up on their head coach, then Mike McDaniel will get the axe before we even get to week 4. Before we dig into the specifics of this, do you agree that this will happen and that this is an appropriate storyline heading into tonight's game?
Yeah, I think it's an appropriate storyline. Don't get. I'm in the media. I've been in the media for my entire adult life. Yeah, it's a legitimate storyline because the Dolphins, as you just pointed out last segment, when you all the power rankings or ratings you look at, the Dolphins are among, if not the worst team in the league right now. And they are digressing. And whenever a program or a team in the NFL is digressing, yeah, you think about making a coaching change. I don't think it's gonna would do any good if they did make the change. I mean, I guess there's probably examples that I can't think of making a mid-season coaching change and the team turns around and surges and makes the playoffs, but most of the time the status quo continues. And plus, here's the other thing. Mike McDaniel's also the offensive coordinator, the guy who calls the plays, all of that. So if you get rid of him, you're getting rid of your offensive coordinator, and it might just make it worse, quite frankly.
If the team quits on the coach, I don't think it can make it worse because they're not bought in. I don't think that Mike McDaniel should get fired, but I also am aware of how this whole cycle works. And it's likely going to happen, and it's probably going to happen before we get to the middle of the season. You mentioned that it's not going to do much. I actually pulled the numbers on this. This is really interesting. Since 2014, 19 coaches have been fired in the middle of the season or sooner. Mm-hmm. Those teams, when the coach was fired, the average win percentage of those teams was 28%. From the time the coach was fired till the end of the regular season, those teams' average win percentage was 34%. So it only increases your win percentage by 6 percentage points over the last 11 years when you fire your coach in the middle of the season. So if you're trying to push into the playoffs, no, it's historically it's not going to work. But it's just, do you want to go through a full season of a team that doesn't believe in their head coach?
Well, and plus these NFL owners are so rich. I mean, they don't care if they have to, pay the interim coach a little bit extra and pay off Mike McDaniel's contract. That's chump change to them. I guess it would be worth it simply to just shut up the noise about him getting fired, right? Because that would be the storyline every week, and it would be a distraction, and the players would get tired of it, and it would get ugly, and planes flying over the stadium, toting banners, fire the coach. That's all ugly, and you don't want that if you're the owner of a football team. So I guess in that respect, it would be worth firing him simply to get rid of the distraction and the ugliness of it all.
Or you could just come out and say, we're not firing him. We believe in our coach, and we're at least going to evaluate the season. Here are the teams that have fired a coach in the middle of the season I'll just say the last 5 years. The Jets, the Raiders, the Panthers, Texans, Commanders. Do you aspire to be any of these organizations? The Commanders feel like they're turning things around, but
the Texans have had some success, but yeah.
The general point is this isn't.
Plus, the Commanders had success because they fired the owner, not the coach.
Yes, good point. Up next, FSU voice Jeff Culhane joins us to discuss the road ahead for the Red Hot Seminoles. That coming up right here on Game On.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Here in Florida, tailgating season is one of the best times of the year. Friends, food, football, and fun. But the best tailgates are planned well in advance. You don't just show up at kickoff and hope it all comes together. Same with your retirement. You plan ahead. You prepare. You make sure you've got everything you need to enjoy it. That's exactly what Trajan Wealth does. I recently sat down with them and moved my old 401k into a portfolio that's tailored for my future. Their fiduciary advisors work with you, not some cookie cutter template. And their founder, Jeff Jr., a Marine veteran, he runs the company with precision and preparation. And in a season where the markets can swing on news from overseas or political fights at home, you need a plan that can adjust on the fly. The best tailgates and the best retirements are built with care. Call Trajan Wealth at 407-213-0000 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Football season is here. That means it's game time, and you know what teams you can trust. You know what teams you can't. It's no different with your AC team. That's why I trust Mills Air. They don't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver every single time. Think of them as the MVP of keeping your home nice and cool. Whether it's routine maintenance, fast repairs, or a downright emergency, Mills Air keeps your home comfortable and energy efficient all season long. And they've been doing that for Orlando homeowners since 1992. Call Leon and the crew to schedule your appointment. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call is 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
At Rental World, we've proudly served Osceola County since 1971 with top quality equipment, competitive prices, and unbeatable service. From mini excavators and stump grinders to pressure washers and dump trailers, we've got what you need to get the job done right. Need it after work? Ask about our half-day and weekend specials. As a Steel Elite dealer, we carry everything from chainsaws to trimmers, plus concrete tools, mixers, and more. Visit RentalWorldFL.com or stop by today. Rental World, making your job easier for over 50 years.
Tonight, the Dolphins head north to take on bitter AFC East rival, the Buffalo Bills. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. Catch every exciting moment of Miami Dolphins football right here, all season long on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeartRadio app.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management. That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan. If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth. The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Hey, Florida State University fans and alumni. Are you ready for Seminole sports this fall? We have the perfect gear for you, the FSU Specialty License Plate. Stop by your local tax collector's office and get yours today. Proceeds fund student scholarships across the university. FSU provides a $25 rebate for first-time buyers. Find out more at mytag.fsu.edu. Support your Seminoles with the FSU Specialty License Plate. Go Noles!
IKEA is celebrating 40 years of making home dreams possible in the U.S. Visit us in-store September 3rd until the 23rd for limited-time offers and experiences, like our Ortianta streetwear collection, our new Tilvercott furniture, daily chances to win gift cards, and more. Come celebrate 40 years of meatball-fueled shopping, brave attempts at our Swedish names, and the inexplicable need for stylish modern design. Offer valid September 3rd through September 23rd, 2025. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and ikea.us.com for details. Restrictions apply.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
When your name's on a paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess. Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
In 1941, Ted Williams faced a choice. He was hitting .3995 on the final day of the season. Good enough to be rounded up to 400 if he had sat out. His manager offered him the day off so that he could finish the season batting 400. He chose to play in those games. It was a doubleheader where he went 6 for 8 and finished the season at 406, and nobody has touched it since. He could have coasted, but instead, he held true to his own standard.
And what did he get for that? He dies and the sun freezes his head.
Let that be a lesson to you. You can do everything right. Someone might just freeze your head.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app.
This report is sponsored by IHOP.
Hey everybody, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here with your Thursday night forecast. Partly cloudy skies through the rest of the overnight tonight, and as you're headed out the door tomorrow morning for that morning commute, temperatures starting off throughout the mid-70s, quickly warming up into the upper 80s. Couple of spotty showers tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy the sunshine while we have it, because especially back half of the weekend, we're seeing those rain chances on the rise as temperatures linger throughout the upper 80s and low 90s. Have a great night.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big filling sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Let's hit the local beat and see what's happening with the teams that call the state of Florida home. Sending you back to the studio. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Touchdown, Florida State! Touchdown, FSU!
Let's head up to Tallahassee, talk to our good friend, the radio voice of the Florida State Seminoles, Jeff Culhane. You can listen to him call FSU games, including this week's game against Kent State in Tallahassee at FM 96.5, The Sphere, our sister station in Orlando at AM 810, Fox Sports Radio. Mr. Culhane, how did you enjoy your week off?
Man, I'll tell you what, it's fun to watch football on Saturdays, guys. That's a fun thing to do. No, I had a 9 a.m. coach pitch game for my son Alexander. Highly competitive, let me tell you, with 5 to 7 year olds. There was a lot of interesting action going on the diamond, and but then after that, was able to really settle in and watched a lot of football last week. Enjoyed a cool beverage or two as well. Bye week was nice. It was nice to have a little bye week 3 early in the season. I enjoyed it.
All right, let's talk about some potential news out there. UCLA fires its head coach, Deshaun Foster, after last week's game. Well, lo and behold, a guy who's being mentioned as a candidate is Florida State defensive coordinator Tony White, who is a UCLA alum. How good of a job has he done thus far, and is Mike Norvell going to have to get used to people coming after Tony White?
Yeah, he's done an amazing job, Bulldog. I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic. And to answer your question, is yes, he is, because Tony White will be a head coach somewhere. I'm not sure where or when, but he has, you know how it is, guys, when you're around certain people, you have a feel for them that, hey, they've kind of got that it factor that a head coach needs to have. And Tony White definitely has that. And the job he's done here in bringing in his defense, setting a standard of, high execution and high accountability has been extremely impressive. And his defenses have been, phenomenal. Top 25 defense each of the last 4 seasons. In the last 25 games that Tony White has been a defensive coordinator, guys, his defenses have held opponents to 20 points or fewer 17 times. I mean, that's just phenomenal. And dating back to last year at Nebraska, Tony White's defenses have not allowed a rushing touchdown in home venues in 9 straight games. So He's done an amazing job, and he's an elite level mind defensively. He's a great recruiter as well, and he's great really just around everybody. He's great to deal with. We had him on our coaches show Monday night here in Tallahassee, and I'm not surprised by his name being mentioned because it's going to be brought up whenever openings are connected to him. There's no question.
Jeff, a sad story, obviously, that happened a few weeks ago. Ethan Pritchard from right here in Central Florida at Sanford Seminole High School was shot. He's still in the hospital. How has the team rallied around him?
Oh, they've definitely rallied. I mean, it's been an emotional situation, extremely sad. You go from the highest of highs to beating Alabama on Saturday, August 30th, to nearly the lowest of lows, where one of your teammates is caught in a situation of mistaken identity and is shot in the head because he is misidentified by gang members as a rival gang because of the car he drives. And very sad. Mike Norvell Monday gave us an update and said that he opened his eyes. I'm not sure if that's the first time since the shooting that's happened, but it's been sad. It's been frustrating. Certainly difficult for the team. They stay in contact, obviously, on an hour-by-hour basis to see how Ethan's doing. And he had been doing a great job, Mike. He's been doing a fantastic job. It's been mentioned by Tony White as a young player who had come in and really caught the eye of the coaching staff as a linebacker. And so special moment on in our last game against East Texas A&M. After every win, Florida State breaks a rock in the locker room, and usually it's a player of the game or an influential player of the game. Ethan Pritchard's father, Earl, broke the rock in the locker room following the game. So glad you asked. It's certainly an emotional situation, and we're all wishing the best, praying and hoping all of the best things for Ethan as he is in just a really, really big battle right now with what he's got going on.
It's a tragic story, and it's something that, you know, I'm not trying to minimize it. It can galvanize the team. This is the kind of thing when you play for something that's bigger than yourself, that can have the sort of melding quality to it. And it seems like that's happening for FSU. Do you think the team is still riding the high of the Alabama win, or is that old news at this point with so much grass in front of them?
You know, that's a great question. I think it is a part of the confidence of this team, Brandon. I think it is a part of the idea, the identity of this football team right now, quite honestly. But, you know, I think from a standpoint of moving on, yeah, I think they have moved on from that win to continue to push forward in this season. You know, long way to go, as we have talked about. But I do believe that winning that game, beating Alabama the way they have, and Alabama's looked pretty good since then. I mean, last week versus Wisconsin looked pretty good. Ty Simpson, their quarterback, has rebounded pretty darn well, and looks pretty solid to me from the Alabama games that I've watched since week 1 on August 30th. And so I think to answer your question, yes, there's definitely a confidence that goes with that victory. How can there not be? But it's not as if this team is continuing to talk about that win versus Alabama. You know, they're looking at each day and moving forward and continuing to get better each day as they get ready for the teeth of the ACC schedule coming up here.
You know, I know it's going to be pretty much at the exact, or actually, no, I'm sorry. 3, I was looking at the wrong week. Kent State, Florida State, that's at 3:30. And then right after that, Florida and Miami. I imagine all eyes on that game for Seminole Nation. Would I be right about that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you would be right, Kravitz. You would be absolutely right. There's no doubt about that.
How do you expect that to go? Who do you expect to win that one?
I expect Miami to win that game. I think Miami's playing really, really well. And I think Florida obviously is trying to find themselves. Look, I don't think it's a game that Florida can't win, but you just look at the way the two seasons are going right now and the vibes you get from afar, and it just really feels like two teams that are going in separate directions. But I think Miami is really good. I mean, I think Miami, you know, if they're able to take care of business on Saturday night versus Florida, and if Florida State as well in turn takes care of business, you might have a potential top 5 showdown in Tallahassee here.
Yeah, baby.
So that Bulldog, that takes you back to the golden age of college
glory
football,
days,
right? In the 90s, my friend, huh?
Yeah. Hey, before we let you go, Jeff, give us one little tidbit about Kent State that you might spit out on the broadcast Saturday.
Oh my, a golden flashes nugget, huh? You want a little Kent
Besides the fact that they were 0-12 last year.
Well, guys, their last FBS win was 1,029 days ago on November 26th, 2022, beating the Buffalo Bulls 30-27. But how about this? Here's one for you right here, guys. The great Don James, head coach, right? College football head coach, most notably at Washington. He was a Florida State assistant from 1959 to 1965. His first head coaching job was at Kent State from 1971 to 1974. Some of his players, the great Jack Lambert, Nick Saban, Gary Pinkel, a part of a MAC championship team in 1972.
Wow. I knew you'd done your research, Culhane. I knew it.
Right.
There you had it.
Every once in a while, Bulldog, I get lucky. I get lucky.
Jeff Culhane, the voice of the Florida State Seminoles. We will be listening to you at 3:30 on Saturday. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Boys, great to talk to you as always. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks, Jeff. Bold call taking Miami, by the way, for Jeff Culhane. You like that one?
I liked your question. Who do you think's going to win that game? Miami.
Well, I think I meant to ask how much do you expect Miami to win by, and that was just the way that it came out. I thought, let's see what he really. Who knows? Maybe he surprises us. You never know with the play-by-play guys. Okay, they look at the game through a different lens.
I want to know what Kravitz has handcrafted. Me and the Prodigy were laughing at you because you come up with your own spreads, Kravitz.
I do. I have my own. I have my own mathematical formula. I adjust the. Hey, laugh all you want, okay?
Hey,
I have my own.
It's the reason you're hosting one of the most popular betting podcasts in the world because you come up with your own spreads.
You know what's crazy is I decided in the offseason months ago. This was like an early June decision that I was going to do this, and so I was already creating my own numbers, and then I landed this podcast opportunity. It worked out beautifully. So whatever you want to know, I got the numbers in front of me, and I'll tell you what my spread is, and we'll see. I mean, I've been doing it for 2 weeks. Vegas has been doing it since the beginning of time. I'm sure my numbers are more accurate than theirs. Coming up next, text in 50857. You can also hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback. We'll get your responses from the first hour of the show after this.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Let me tell you something. When it's blazing outside, your AC is acting up. That's not just a minor inconvenience, my friends. That is a full-blown crisis. That's why I trust Mills Air. They don't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver every single time. Think of them as the MVP of keeping your home nice and cool. Whether it's routine maintenance, fast repairs, or downright emergency, Mills Air is going to be there for you to keep your home nice and comfortable and energy efficient all season long. And they've been doing that for Orlando homeowners and business owners since 1992. Don't wait until the final minute. Call Leon and the crew. Schedule your appointment. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call, 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
Are you ready for some Thursday night football with Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app that makes football games 10 times more fun to watch? And it's so easy. All you do is pick more or less on a player's stat projections like Tyreek Hill's receiving yards or Josh Allen's passing yards, and your lineup is locked down in less than a minute. In tonight's game, I'm going more on every player in my lineup because I think the Dolphins and Bills is going to be a high-scoring affair. I'm going more on Josh Allen's passing projection, more on Tua's passing, more on James Cook's rushing, and more on Tyreek Hill's receiving. That's what I love about Prize Picks. I can turn my hot takes into cold, hard cash. And here's the other thing. With their flex play, you can double your money even if you miss a pick. So come get in the game with me. Download the app today. Use my code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Hoping your ride is a safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Right now, a very heavy delay westbound of the 408. All lanes blocked at Colonial Drive. Eastbound, we're clear, however. East and westbound of I-4 is also incident-free, other than your usual stop-and-go flow that's approaching 535. We're clear north and south of the Greenway at this time, and no issues reported on the Turnpike either. North and south of the 429 toll is moving along fine as well. Al Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Viant, data-driven advertising made simple. The key to reaching new customers is not overspending on search or social. It's streaming TV, where you can make the right impression with the right audiences. No stress, no guesswork. guesswork, just smarter advertising that drives new business growth. Viant has proven technology to reach the right customers on the best programming, delivering real outcomes. Want better results? Visit ViantCTV.com today. That's ViantCTV.com to learn how easy data-driven advertising can be.
Boxing fans, Night of Champions 12 returns to Caribe Royale Orlando on Friday, September 19th. Undefeated Kevin Brown defends his WBA Continental North America title against Juan Mesa Angula. Former heavyweight title challenger Luis King Kong Ortiz returns to take on Philip Henson. Plus, undefeated Puerto Rican prospect Roberto Rivera Gomez. And local stars and Trevius Ingram, Jobed Colazo, and Joshua LeBron. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
Welcome to Embers Only on iHeartRadio Orlando, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Step inside the luxury cigar lifestyle with our cigar of the week. And this week's cigar really is a legendary cigar. It is the FSG by Drew Estate Limited Edition Toro. And it is a trunk press Toro cigar featuring the beautiful Florida sun-grown tobacco right here from their initial 2013 test crops. And they have some in there from their 2014 crop as well, all rounded out with select Nicaraguan and Honduran fillers. The binder, Mexican sun and dress, and the wrapper is a stalk cut Connecticut broadleaf. What that gives you is a beautiful medium to medium strong cigar with a little spice in there as well. Great construction, wonderful smoke. You're going to love it today, especially at this price. Only $124.95 a box. That's 24% off. It's the FSG by Drew Estate Limited Edition Toro, and it is your cigar of the week. Thanks so much for joining us for Embers Only. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Downtown, Heathrow, Sand Lake, Sarasota, Tampa, and always online at coronacigar.com.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be part of a legacy that never stops. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The free iHeartRadio app makes your car radio jealous.
Live radio presets, lyrics for songs, and the most podcasts on the planet.
Plus, it all fits in your pocket.
Your car radio can't do that.
Make sure the free iHeartRadio app is on your smartphone now.
The #1 app for radio.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
If you weren't watching the game, you would think, hey, Tua had a great game. 26 of 32, 315 yards. If you just look at the stat, he had a good game, but you watch that game, and late in the game, Tyreek Hill's running free. Did you see that pass?
Oh, my God.
Running
sails
free.
it right over his head. And it was the same thing against Indianapolis. You start in a hole, and then you pull your way back, and then late in the game, it's penalties, it's miscommunications, it's errant passes over the head of your top wide receiver. I don't care what your box score says. If you can't take advantage of opportunities, then you're just not a good enough quarterback in the NFL.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
When we guys hear the word hormones, we think that's a her problem. Mood swings, menopause, hot flashes, that's her lane, right? Wrong. The truth is, guys, your hormones crash too. You just don't talk about it. You feel tired all the time. You've got brain fog. You're not interested in sex, or maybe your body isn't cooperating. Sound familiar? That's why I'm talking to you about Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. They treat men and women. They treat couples who want to feel like themselves again. Dr. John Carrizella left his successful practice as a Yale-trained orthopedic surgeon to dedicate his career to what really matters, keeping people at their peak performance for life. Why? Because too many people, both men and women, are suffering and not getting any answers from traditional medicine. Fellas, it's time to step up. Help her get her spark back and get yours back too. Go to hormonesandwellness.com. That's where all the information is. Hormonesandwellness.com, because this isn't about getting old. It's about getting right.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando.
The
UCF Knights are heard here. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
If you're looking for beer on this fine and fantastic Thursday afternoon, come to Wing House, order any half-pound burger at a regular price, and get a free 16-ounce domestic beer or soda, and wash that puppy down. It's the perfect way to fuel up for a big football weekend. Right before we get into it, juicy burgers, cold drinks, beautiful girls, all found at the Wing House, a vibe that you will love. You can't ask for more than that. 3 Central Florida locations. Wing House, good food, beautifully served. Text in 50857. We'll give away tickets to the fight night going on at Caribe Royale in just about 3 minutes. But you can get in your thoughts on the text line at 50857. We're also taking talkbacks as well. Just tap that microphone icon when you're listening on the iHeartRadio app and let it fly. We got one here, commenting on a bad joke I made earlier. We'll leave that alone. Somebody said, I think Mike McDaniel. I agree. It felt weird coming out. You kind of paused in the moment, and I thought, they have overstepped there. But you know what? We
live radio.
We say a lot of words on live radio. I'm not trying to get Jimmy Kimmeled over here. Somebody said, is that another bad one?
No, that's a good one.
I think Mike McDaniel will get fired after the 4th game if they lose. It's a given that the Bills will win. This one's from John. I don't think that Mike McDaniel is going to get fired if the Dolphins just lose tonight in a competitive game. But if the team quits on him, which it feels like we could be trending in that direction, you had an all-out blowout against the Colts. You had a complete meltdown at the end of the game, miscommunication, I'm sure there was a lot of locker room finger pointing that was going on. It sounded like Tua threw the coaching staff under the bus after the game.
Sounded like O.J. McDuffie threw him under the bus yesterday on our show when he was talking about Mike McDaniel's play calls are like 20 words long, and he needs to make them shorter so that the players can get them called on time, right?
Yes, I do believe that it's not like Mike McDaniel is blameless on this, but I like the offense that he runs. He just clearly needs to simplify things for stressful moments. I also don't get the feeling that Tua is necessarily the best deliverer of these messages, and I think that's part of the problem. Tua's processing is not the best. And I don't think he's the world's best communicator either. And so it's a bad combination. You have Mike McDaniel's overcomplicated offense, which is great in the middle of the second quarter, not so much at the end of the 4th. And then you have Tua, who I think has a hard time spitting it out, and then it creates a cluster. And Tyreek Hill off to the side, not listening.
This may sound like a outlandish idea, but I agree with one of the texts we just got. Do the Dolphins try Zach Wilson and see if he can push the ball to Hill and Waddle better since he does have a stronger arm? Hey, Tua is not above being benched in my mind. He is not above. I mean, we're talking about benching DJ Lagway for crying out loud. He was the Heisman Trophy candidate.
That's a different pay. That's a different pay grade.
Comparatively speaking, it's not. DJ Lagway in college makes probably what Tua makes NFL wise if you compare it to what others in the sport are making.
Yeah, I think the organization already made up their mind on Tua for now, at least.
Okay, but why, if you're Mike McDaniel, you're fighting for your job and Tua's not getting it done?
I guess, look, he's got to do what he's got to do. Text the word punch to 50857 if you want to go to the fight tomorrow night. We're back in 60 seconds after this Fox Sports update.
Live, local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to Game On, live in Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeart Radio app, wherever you are, however you may be listening. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Krabs, I wrote a column in the Orlando Sentinel. You can read it right now at orlandosentinel.com, and it was based on something Scott Frost said at his press conference earlier in the week. Of course, the UCF Knights are taking on the University of North Carolina, and Bill Belichick coming to town on Saturday. And Scott Frost was asked, I don't remember the question he was asked, but he said, and I quote, "It's just another game. It's just another game." And don't get me wrong, I understand why coaches say that. I especially understand why Scott Frost would say that. He's trying to manage the expectations around his program. He's in his first year. He doesn't want everybody to get too high or too low for one game. So, including his players, I get that. But Kravitz, this isn't just another game in my mind. It's just not. This is, I mean, you said it yesterday. This is probably the second biggest home game since when, did you say?
Colorado last year.
Yeah. Well, Colorado last year, but this is the biggest, one of the biggest home games they've had in the last 4 or 5 years.
No, I said that. So if we said that basically since Heupel left, and after Heupel left, I think the excitement around the program started to dwindle. That's pretty safe to say that. And so the hype around the games diminished comparatively. Those were 2 magical seasons that UCF had. And then after that, I would say the Colorado game last year was the most hyped, anticipated home game for UCF in that 4 or 5 year span. And then this is number 2. But I think this is where I see where you're going with this, but I slightly disagree. I think that anticipation is about UCF fans. It's not so much about Scott Frost as the returning head coach. I don't think this game is the true declaration of, is the Scott Frost swagger back? It'll help. I think that starts during conference play.
I don't. I think I sort of compare him and Belichick. I compare him and Belichick. I did it in my column, even though obviously, they're different age groups, different demographics. But Bill Belichick, let's face it, Scott Frost and Bill Belichick, both those guys were unceremoniously dumped from their last jobs. Very important jobs. I mean, Bill Belichick, greatest NFL coach of all time. Robert Kraft just sends him on his way after 24 years and 6 Super Bowls. That's got to be humiliating. In fact, it was humiliating because Bill Belichick still hasn't forgiven Robert Kraft. And Scott Frost goes back to his alma mater and just fails miserably and gets thrown out of there. And now he's back in college. Bill Belichick's. Both these guys have to prove themselves again. Both of these guys have to prove themselves again. And it starts on Saturday. Don't tell me that. I mean, UCF's 2-0 right now. They're expected to be 2-0. If they win on Saturday to go 3-0, UCF fans are going to start thinking, hey, we might be pretty damn good. We might be pretty. You know how fans are.
I know, but that's part of the problem. This is part of the issue that I have with this, is that it's great if you win. Obviously, if UCF loses, there's going to be a whole lot of question marks that come with that because this UNC team doesn't look like they're probably very good. But I think it creates a little bit of fool's gold. If Scott Frost actually starts to beat...
You think everything's fool's gold, Kravitz. You think Florida State's fool's gold. You said that earlier in the week.
They've won one real football game.
Why can't you let fans enjoy their victories and think that, hey, maybe we're good. It's not that far-fetched to think that a team in 1 year can turn it around and be good. We saw it with Arizona State last year, okay? I hate to keep using that as an example. You can be good in 1 year if you hit it right in the transfer portal. I'm just saying, I think before this season, UCF fans, even though Frost was back, weren't that fired up. They weren't that fired up. It took them a long time to sell out their season ticket allotment. They usually sell it out quicker. I don't think they were that fired up. I think if they beat North Carolina, the UCF fan base will be fired up and cocky and arrogant again, just like we like them. Just like we like them.
I agree. I love when UCF fans are like that. It's the best. And a beating or even blowing out UNC would help create that narrative. I'm not going to back off of the fact that it would probably be fool's gold. I think UNC is a bad football team, and beating them will create this false sense of hope. And then if they go into Big 12 play and they stink, then you're going to fall very far off of that mountain that you put yourself on. I don't think it's smart. For Florida State, I mean, it's a different story. Florida State, I believe Florida State is back in terms of being a good football team. All I've said is that I'm not sure that they're actually a top 10 team in college. I think that is a little bit extreme, but they could be back. I mean, they're at least back to not being embarrassing. They're definitely that.
I just don't. You say when they go in the Big, oh, they're going into this massive, this murderer's row of Big 12. Who's their first Big 12 game? Is it Kansas State?
Kansas State's been a disappointment so far.
Okay.
Kansas is a good football team. North Carolina's as good
as Kansas State. North Carolina's as good as Kansas State. Imagine what it would do. All right. Forget whether it's fool's gold or not. All right. Think what it would do for UCF's national reputation, and say what you will about North Carolina, but there are a lot of eyeballs on them because of Belichick. If Scott Frost goes out and beats Bill Belichick and outcoaches Bill Belichick, that is a feather in his cap nationally, and people will be talking about it.
I think it's something that would feel great if you're Scott Frost, for sure, because I think anybody that beats Bill Belichick, given the age range, Scott Frost, I'm sure, looked up to Bill Belichick. I mean, hell, he was coached by him at one point.
Right.
How do you not idolize a coach that's had that much success? To hold a win over Bill Belichick on a personal level, I'm sure that, and he'll never admit it, I'm sure would mean a ton to Scott Frost, as it should. But if UCF is a touchdown favorite in this game, if they win this game by double digits, it's like, okay, people are going to freak out about, oh, UCF is back. No, UCF did what they were supposed to do. UNC isn't a good football team. Just because they're coached by Bill Belichick doesn't make them the 2005 New England Patriots.
Okay, but
it doesn't declare that UCF is back.
But these two programs are in the same situation. New coaches, both have overhauled rosters, both have more than 70 new players. Why shouldn't UCF be better than North Carolina? Why? Because maybe Scott Frost is a better coach than Bill Belichick, at least on the college level. That's what people will be saying if they win on Saturday.
Well, that's silly. I think that's a silly thing to say after this game. It doesn't seem like UNC is chock full of talent, and there's a reason why.
Why is UCF supposedly chock full of talent? We didn't think they had talent worth a patootie before the season started. Why? Because they beat North Carolina A&T.
Almost
lost to Jacksonville State at home.
This is why I have to try and train myself and then spit this venom out to all of you. And it sounds like I'm Mr. Negative. Is that we've only seen a couple of games this season. I haven't seen UCF get stomped on yet this year. Maybe it's coming, maybe it's not. I've watched with my own eyes UNC get stomped out of the building by TCU. That's not what good football teams do. So I know that they have that in their range of outcomes. I don't know about UCF. They had one ugly game to start the year, and then they blew out a college I'd never heard of. What am I supposed to do with that? And then
you're supposed to say if UCF beats North Carolina, they may be back.
You know what? They
may be pretty damn good.
I'm going to call this a must-win game for UCF. This isn't like a statement win. This is a you better not lose. How about that? Otherwise, maybe the bloom will be off the rose. Up next, another epic Mount Rushmore. I'll deliver that to you right after this.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
You always want to trust the people you deal with, whether it's who you work with, who you're married to, or your AC company. You have to have an AC company you can trust. And I trust Ziegler Air Conditioning. I've told you guys the story on Labor Day weekend. House full of friends. AC goes out, 96 degrees outside. It's hotter than hell in my place. I call Ziegler, the emergency number. They answer. The tech is at my place in an hour and a half, and my AC's up and running 2.5 hours later. It was unbelievable. I will always be indebted to Ziegler Air Conditioning for that. Their techs are different. They're unlike any other company I've ever dealt with. I bought my unit from them. It's a carrier unit. They maintain it. They keep everything running so my warranty stays valid. And unlike a lot of these other companies, they're out to provide honest, quality service. They're not out to upsell you. They don't send sales advisors with their techs like other companies do to push new systems or to try to get a big commission. Plus, Ziegler is a carrier and a factory authorized dealer. That means they can get you better deals and rebates than most companies. And when you call Ziegler Air, you're talking to a real person, not some endless phone tree. In fact, Meredith, she's a great lady. She'll answer the phone. She'll get the ball rolling on whatever you need. So when you're hot, you need help fast, call the people I trust, Ziegler Air Conditioning, 407-245-8765, 407-245-8765. Tell them the Bulldog sent you. Ziegler Air Conditioning. Don't ever lose your cool.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
Hoping your ride is a safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Right now, the heaviest delays eastbound of I-4 approaching and beyond Princeton due to an incident. Also not due to an incident eastbound approaching 535 on I-4. Southbound of the Turnpike after the Greenway. Again, this is not due to an incident, just some stop-and-go flow. Northbound, we are clear on the Turnpike north and south of the Greenway as well, and no major issues reported anymore on the 408. Our Valvoline instant oil change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning here. There's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. There's something about those soft, fluffy, irresistible King's Hawaiian Sliders that make them a winner on game day. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. King's Hawaiian. There's nothing like it.
The ultimate celebration of music.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is happening tomorrow and Saturday.
Live in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. 16 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
And listen live on the free iHeartRadio app.
Tomorrow and Saturday, starting at 10:30.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Are you ready for some Thursday night football with Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app that makes football games 10 times more fun to watch? And it's so easy. All you do is pick more or less on a player's stat projections, like Tyreek Hill's receiving yards or Josh Allen's passing yards, and your lineup is locked down in less than a minute. In tonight's game, I'm going more on every player in my lineup because I think the Dolphins and Bills is going to be a high-scoring affair. I'm going more on Josh Allen's passing projection, more on Tua's passing, more on James Cook's rushing, and more on Tyreek Hill's receiving. That's what I love about Prize Picks. I can turn my hot takes into cold, hard cash. And here's the other thing. With their flex play, you can double your money even if you miss a pick. So come get in the game with me. Download the app today. Use my code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and don't know what to do.
You know who to call. Farah and Farah, Orlando.
Visit C360store.com, your one stop for printing, apparel decoration, branding, signage, and promotional products from t-shirts to trade shows. New clients save 15%. Ask about free shipping and setup. Claim your free journal now at C360store.com.
Fall is the season for reinvention, and it's easy to do at Macy's Fall Favorite Sale. Come in and find your new favorite styles, like romantic ruffled dresses, chic trenches, cashmere sweaters, and textural fall layers, which are perfect for mixing and matching. All for 20 to 50% off. So if you're looking for your new favorite things, look no further than the Fall Favorite Sale. Today, only at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
The Fantasy Fix continues Sunday, September 21st. Are there players you need to give up on? What about the new stars that have entered the Fantasy Mix? Every week, starting at 10 a.m., we're breaking down the matchups, the sleepers, the busts, the props, all the plays that can help you win your league. It's fantasy football news up to the minute right here on FM 96.9 The Game. Don't set your lineup without us, and it all starts Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. on the Fantasy Fix.
I'm Dan, he's Ty. Hello. And we're the Solid Verbal College Football Podcast.
Tune in for previews, recaps, bits you won't hear anywhere else, and all the emotional support you need as a college football fan.
Join us all season long as we ride the roller coaster of this ridiculous sport.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search the Solid Verbal College Football Podcast, and listen now.
We don't just love college football, Ty. We live it.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
We got Orlando's Magical Dining coming up, a citywide celebration of Orlando's dining scene. A special thanks to Fiorenzo's Italian Steakhouse at Hyatt Regency Orlando. Proud participant. They dropped off some lasagna, some salmon. You really missed out, Bianchi. You had some potato wedges. It was awesome. Special 3-course dinner, $60, a curated menu highlighting the Italian steakhouse favorites. It's on iDrive inside the Hyatt Regency Orlando, upscale, open kitchen setting. That's where my wife and I got married. The Bulldog was at that wedding. High-class affair. It's a great place to go and hang out. I have something special planned, Mike, for this segment. But before we get to that, I was doing a little bit of a look ahead to next week in college football. We have some interesting stuff going on inside of the state. Love the fact that we have Scott Frost versus the Hoodie. Very interesting. That's at 3:30. You've got Miami and Florida. How does Florida bounce back after 5 interceptions against LSU and all of the turmoil there? Really interesting matchups. But in terms of a national perspective, next Saturday, wow. 7:30, Oregon, Penn State. And at the exact same time, Alabama, Georgia. 7:30 next Saturday is going to be en fuego. I cannot wait for that. So we got a couple of good weekends of college football coming up. Mike, you mentioned The Natural the other day. Robert Redford passed away. And you mentioned that movie being a potential Mount Rushmore sports movie. And it got me thinking.
Not mine, but it is a potential Mount Rushmore.
I've never seen the movie, but I understand that people that have seen it, it's one of those classics that people hold up to very high esteem. We decided that if we were going to do this, that we would have to put Rocky movies to the side. There's too many of them. They're too good. You just have to kind of make Rocky its own thing.
Well, Rocky one, you could use one Rocky one. I mean, if you're going to use a Rocky movie, it would be Rocky one.
So to me, Rocky IV is the best Rocky.
Oh, stop it!
I love that one.
Stop it! Rocky
With
one.
Ivan Drago, I will break you.
Oh,
that's a great
That's
movie.
Spoken like a true WWE fan.
Yeah. Well,
the Russian villain.
I could have picked the one with Hulk Hogan in it. I didn't. I think that's a different Rocky. Anyway, outside of Rocky, because those movies would potentially dominate the landscape, I have built the non-Rocky sports movie Mount Rushmore.
It's time for another epic encounter with a Brandon Kravitz Mount Rushmore.
If you don't...
Yeah, what?
If you don't have a certain movie on this Mount Rushmore, it has no credibility. I'll just say that. So
Bianchi's already angry about my Rushmore.
I'm not angry.
I'm not out yet.
I'm not angry. I'm just saying if you don't have a certain movie on your Mount Rushmore, then it has no credibility. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. Pressure's on now. You better have it on there.
The first face on the mountain is Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. Okay. Inspirational. It's historical in a sense with the Black Sox.
Yeah.
Father-son dynamics.
It's awesome. Awesome movie.
Hits on all levels. So Field of Dreams is on there.
Yeah.
I've got Major League. Hilarious movie. So many quotable moments from Major League, just a bit outside. I've got Rudy on there. The archetype.
Oh my God.
The archetype of the underdog story and the dynamic between Rudy and the janitor. It just hits you all in all the right places. And then, of course, the final face on the mountain is Sandlot. The ultimate.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
For anyone that grew up with a group of friends, you had a crush on the lifeguard, you had a neighbor, creepy old neighbor you were scared of, a big dog, you dreamed of being a Major League Baseball player. It's so relatable. The most relatable sports movie that's out there as a child. That's my Mount Rushmore. Field of Dreams, Major League, Rudy, and Sandlot.
Okay, first of all, you don't have the two greatest sports movies, taking Rocky one out of it. The two greatest sports movies of all time aren't on your Mount Rushmore. That's just inexplicable and inexcusable that you don't have Hoosiers on, A. You don't have Hoosiers on your Mount Rushmore. Maybe not the greatest sports movie, but the second best sports. You want inspiration, the small town Hoosiers, the little high school team beating the big city boys in the state championship and all the turmoil and the life of the coach. I mean, good Lord, you don't have that. And then you don't have the greatest sports movie of all time, Raging Bull. Robert De Niro playing Jake LaMotta. And it's not just a sports movie, Kravitz. The movie is about self-destruction. It's about relationship issues, rage, trying to get redemption. And Robert De Niro, I mean, the guy put on a masterful performance. He gained 60 pounds for that movie just so he could play the aging Jake LaMotta in the movie. He won the Academy Award for that. It's considered maybe the greatest acting performance of all time. And you've got Major League on your Mount Rushmore.
Respectable omissions there. I did regret. I do regret leaving Talladega Nights off of my Mount Rushmore.
Should put the Waterboy on there.
Waterboy's a good one. Longest Yard, 1 and 2.
What about Brian's Song?
That's not a good movie.
Oh, what are you talking about?
That's not a good movie.
When I was a kid, I cried every time it came on.
That doesn't mean it's a good movie. That just means you're soft.
You put Remember the Titans on there?
No, but that was a great. It was tough to leave that off. Hey, there's only four slots on the mountain here, and here's the thing that I noticed is that without a doubt, baseball and boxing make the best movies. I mean, Rocky would have been on there, but I left Rocky off, so Rocky would have bumped one of these. But what is it, Mike? We got to go to break here in a second, but if you had to just think of a quick reason why is it that baseball and boxing make the best sports movies?
Because baseball is all about relationships, usually with a dad or something. And, you always have great memories of playing baseball with your dad, playing catch outside. And boxing is because of the redemption stories, because boxers usually come from nothing, and then they make something of themselves. By the way, Bad News Bears. What about that one? Huh?
Yeah. Worth a consideration. Another great
Tatum
baseball movie.
O'Neal. I used to have a crush on her when I was a kid. Oh, yeah.
That was a pretty good answer, Mike. Up next, Baker is hot. The Bucks are 2-0. Is there anything that can slow them down now? We'll check in with our Bucks insider right after this.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
In football, a winning season comes from a great game plan, and that's exactly how the Nickley Group sells homes. Central Florida homes are moving fast and for top dollar. And right now, interest rates are going down, down, down. All right, so you need to get that home on the market if you're thinking about selling. The Nickley Group will look at your specific zip code, your equity position, and your timeline, then give you the best options, including their guaranteed cash offer. I've seen sellers take that offer and close in 2 weeks, stress-free. Others hit the open market and set record prices, all right? That's what makes the Nickley Group the #1 real estate team in Central Florida. For a guaranteed offer on your home, visit thenicklygroup.com. That's thenicklygroup.com. If you want to sell quickly, just call Nickley.
You know, they say not all heroes wear capes. Well, that is certainly the case for my go-to real estate agent, Kevin Krager. When you're buying a home, who you work with matters a lot. That's why you need Kevin Krager with LPT Realty on your side. Kevin doesn't just unlock doors. He brings a deep knowledge of market trends, the latest home buyer programs, and cutting-edge real estate technology. But what is it that truly sets Kevin apart? Kevin's strong background in construction is second to none in the industry. He knows what to look for. You go on a walk with him through a prospective house of yours, you're going to get the most fundamental information about the foundation to the roof line. He is focused on protecting your investment every single step step of the way. And then even after closing, his service doesn't stop there. Kevin is loyal to his clients. Kevin has the resources to help with repairs or upgrades, all at cost for those that buy through him. If you want a trusted guide who knows homes inside and out, Kevin Krager with LPT Realty is there for you today. Your future home will thank you.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be part of a legacy that never stops. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Get ready for an epic engagement event at International Diamond Center this Friday through Sunday. IDC's flying in the entire collections, all the newest styles from both Tacori and Verragio. Hundreds of new rings to choose from. Tacori and Verragio, the world's two premier ring designers, together on the IDC stage with special incentives or zero interest financing through 2028. See Tacori's latest, handcrafted by true California artisans with exquisite detail. And from New York, see the newest creations from Verragio, unique, distinctive, and personalized. Buy any Tacori or Verragio ring at this event and get a $500 IDC gift card. Buy the engagement ring with a matching wedding band and get a $1,000 gift card. Also, check out new fine jewelry from these renowned designers. Let the experts at IDC help you find both the perfect ring and the most dazzling diamond during this incredible 3-day event. Get the guaranteed best price up to $1,500 in savings or interest-free financing till 2028. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, and only at International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia on approved credit.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life.
Week 3 of the NFL season, it is set to roll tonight with an AFC East showdown between the Bills and the Dolphins. That one's in New York. Florida football coach Billy Napier says freshman wideout Dallas Wilson, he'll begin practicing next week, and he could face Texas after the Gators bye. And Florida State receiver LaWayne McCoy, he'll make his season debut Saturday. That's when the 9th-ranked Seminoles host Kent State. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Orlando's new home for Florida State football is AM 810 Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Hear every game live on AM 810 or search Fox Sports Radio Orlando on the free iHeartRadio app. Let's hit the local beat and see what's happening with the teams that call the state of Florida home. Sending you back to the studio. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Go Bucks. The 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning in dramatic fashion back-to-back weeks. The latest on Monday night against the Houston Texans. Scott Reynolds, Bucs beat writer over at pewterreport.com. My go-to source for Bucs news and information joins us on the hotline now. Scott, Baker did it again. This guy he's got that dog in him. I checked the x-rays. This guy he's so clutch down the stretch. He must be an absolute, and he's a great interview. I'm sure he is just a joy to cover in all facets.
There's no doubt about it. He does have the clutch gene. That's in his DNA. I mean, he's an absolute clutch performer. Really just since last year, playing his best football, and he's off to a hot start, right? 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, hero play after hero play, none bigger than that 15-yard scramble on 4th and 10. He is just sensational, and he is the engine of this offense and the heartbeat of the team.
The trash talk is phenomenal too. I imagine that's something, when he was like that in Cleveland, it didn't come across well. Now it seems to land differently. Do you think it's because his demeanor has changed? Well, maybe his attitude has stayed the same, but maybe his maturity has changed. Or is it just simply the fact that he's winning now so he can get away with it? How do you perceive that in the way that he sort of delivers his messages to his opponents?
That's a great question. I really haven't thought about it, but just literally in the seconds that I'm pondering this as you said that, I think when you go to the worst team in football, which is the Cleveland Browns, right? And they were at the time, they had the number 1 overall pick, and you are thrust into automatically becoming the face of the franchise, right? You're the savior, you're the hope, and all of that. That's tough. It's difficult, and when you go through offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator and head coach after head coach, and the roster is being churned with every new GM and head coach to come. It's tough to have kind of a team first mentality, because who's your team? Who are your teammates? Who are your coaches, right? There was such a carousel in Cleveland, and obviously he was part of it too, right? He got traded away for Deshaun Watson, and they traded him to the Panthers when he wasn't needed anymore. But when he came to Tampa, there was already a Super Bowl champion culture here that was before Tom Brady, but that Tom Brady kind of took to a new level, right? So it's easy to come into a stable environment and then be able to fit in. And I go back to the very first OTA practice that the Bucs had in 2023 when Baker Mayfield arrived. What stood out to me was when they went out for their calisthenics line and they started doing the high knees and the jogging and all that stuff, right? He went over and he inserted himself between Vita Vea and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka on the defensive side, right? And I thought, wow, like there's Baker in a sea of red jerseys. He's got the white jersey or the orange jersey as a quarterback. but he's an offensive player, and he thrust himself over into the middle of the defense. And now, why wouldn't he be in the middle of the offensive line? The guys that protect him, or next to wide receivers Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, because he wanted to become the leader of the entire team, not just the offense, the team. And to me, that spoke volumes about who he is. That was not a ploy. That was like, hey, I want to be a Buccaneer. Just throwing balls to Mike and Chris with the offensive line protecting me. I want to be a Buccaneer with everybody in this locker room. And you know what? It hasn't changed then. It's only been more amplified, his team-first mentality. He is not a me guy. And I think him coming into a culture that was already winning, he just seamlessly fit into that. And he just kind of amplified his team-first attitude since he's been here and been a part of it.
Scott, I don't know if you've ever had a chance to talk to Todd Bowles about this, but obviously the Bucs are facing the Jets this week. Todd Bowles was the coach of the Jets, did not fare well when he was the coach of the Jets, although I think he was there for 4 years.
Yeah.
Do you think this matchup still has special meaning to him simply because that was a coaching job that he had? And what do you think went wrong when he was with the Jets?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a dysfunctional organization, and it was paired with John Idzik, kind of a cap guy rather than a personnel guy, like a personnel GM, like you see with Jason Light. And if you don't have the players,
right,
you don't have the team, right? You can be a great coach, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the players. And as great of a coach as John Gruden was, and he inherited a bunch of Hall of Famers, right? I mean, this was. People say this was, Tony Dungy's team he inherited. No, he inherited Monty Kiffin's defense is what he inherited. He switched out all of the offensive players. But the problem, and the reason why the Bucs declined under Gruden towards the very end was, you go back and look at those drafts that he and Bruce Allen presided over. They drafted one Pro Bowler like in 6 years together. One, Davin Joseph, one. And you look at what Jason Light has done, it seems like every draft, a couple of years later, there's another Pro Bowler, and so I think that's part of it is Todd Bowles, he came here as a defensive coordinator. Again, this was already kind of a Super Bowl ready roster. Tom Brady chose the Buccaneers for that reason. If you look at the first year under Bruce Arians in 2019, and then the 2020 year, pretty much the same roster with the exception of the quarterback, right? They switched out the quarterback. And you go from 7-9 with Jameis to 11-5 with Brady, and I think that had a lot to do with their success. The fact that Todd Bowles came here as a defensive coordinator, and then since then has helped add talent to this team, especially on the defensive side when he was a defensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach. Now he has the say so and saying, yeah, Jason, you know what? I like this Emeka Buka kid too. I'm a defensive minded head coach, but I didn't like seeing us score 20 points per game without Mike and Chris last year. So yeah, let's help out my defense by drafting some guys that can put points on the scoreboard, like Emeka Buka. And so I think that's part of it. The other thing too is just time. We all get better with age, or at least we learn mistakes over time, and we learn. The on Monday night, when the Buccaneers were down inside the 5-yard line and they're letting the clock bleed out, but yet they still had 2 timeouts. Kind of contrast that to what happened on Monday Night Football a year ago in Kansas City, when the minute they got inside the red zone, they called timeout. And then they scored a touchdown, and then they gave Kansas City too much time left on the clock. And I think hiring Zach Beislein, the game management guy up in the coach's booth, he and Todd Bowles have done a great job with timeout usage, which was a problem that Todd had. So I just think Todd has just gotten better as a coach. He's made mistakes. He's been accountable. He's owned them, and he's looked at shuffling his staff and doing the necessary things to correct it.
That seems to be why he let Nick Chubb score on Monday night.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. It was the right call to make. And it sucks when you're a defensive-minded head coach. Like that goes against every fiber in his being to let a running back score on his run defense. But that was the right call. That was the mature, experienced decision. And I'm sure Zach Beislein probably said, Todd, this is going to give you some heartburn, but we need the ball back. And Baker's going to win this game, Todd, not your defense. Not right now. They're already in the red zone, so let them score, and that's what happened. Smart football.
Absolutely. Hey, I was gonna ask you real quick about Ibuka. I asked Brandon this a few days ago. Do you think Chris Godwin now is a luxury instead of a necessity with Ibuka emerging?
Yeah, I do, and that's okay. And here's the thing too. What it does is it takes pressure off of Chris in two respects. Number one, when he is ready to return, they don't have to.
Uh-oh. I think we may have lost Scott.
Okay.
All right, we appreciate
Are you
Scott. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
He's back. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, so what I was saying was it's kind of a luxury to have Chris, because when he returns, if he's not 100%, if he's 75%, you don't have to play him the whole game. You can pick and choose your spots. You can ease him back into the lineup. You may even wait a week if you don't need him, if you're winning games and putting points on the board. So that's huge. And then the other thing too is it takes some pressure off of Chris to come back and be that guy, to be the guy that is expected to get 1,000 yards this year and all of that. Like, that's not going to happen. This is a guy coming back from a fractured ankle. He's not going to be the same Chris Godwin. Probably going to take him, once he's back on the field, another full year to kind of get back to the standard that we're used to seeing. And it's no different injury, but no different than it was when he tore his knee up in 2021. He wasn't the Chris Godwin that we saw at the beginning of last year, back in 2022. It took a year for him to kind of get back physically to that guy. And when that injury happened with the knee, guys, he was 26 years old. Now he's 29. I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't get any easier the older we get, right, gentlemen? So I think the main point is correct. Yeah, Emeka Ibuka, it takes a lot of pressure off Chris Godwin to A, have to come back too soon, A, and then B, have to come back and play a full game. It can be on a pitch count. And then C, even if he comes in and just chips in, he doesn't have to be a main producer, because you have Mike, you have Emeka, you've got Bucky, you've got Rashad. There's enough weapons to go around with Baker Mayfield. We've already seen that. They're 2-0 without Chris.
Scott Reynolds, Bucks beat writer over at PeterReport.com, our go-to source for all Bucks news and information. Mark that also is the only time that we will ever be compared athletically to Chris Godwin. Thanks so much, Scott. Appreciate you.
Have a great week. Thank you.
Coming up next, we want to hear from you. Text in 50857. You can hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback as well. We've got FSU Kent State tickets up for grabs right after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be back right after this.
If you are tired of cookie cutter barbershops and sterile salons, boy, do I have news for you. Go check out the grooming club that is Hammer and Nails Grooming for Guys. They've got 3 Central Florida locations that you can go and check out. Windermere was the one that we were at on Monday night watching Bucks Texans. Got a nice haircut, got a manicure, signed up for the Classic Club. That's 2 classic services per month. And if for whatever reason you get busy, you're not able to use them, they roll over, and you can gift them to family and friends. You can even transfer them to clients. If you're in sales, that will certainly help you perhaps push that latest sale over the top. You can get all sorts of experiences, the essential tea tree pedicure. They've got all sorts of things over at Hammer and Nails, because when it comes to men's grooming, they don't cut corners. They redefine the whole experience. Hammer and Nails, come as you are, leave as you want to be.
When we guys hear the word hormones, we think that's a her problem. Mood swings, menopause, hot flashes, that's her lane, right? Wrong. The truth is, guys, your hormones crash too. You just don't talk about it. You feel tired all the time. You've got brain fog. You're not interested in sex, or maybe your body isn't cooperating. Sound familiar? That's why I'm talking to you about Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. They treat men and women. They treat couples who want to feel like themselves again. Dr. John Carrizella left his successful practice as a Yale-trained orthopedic surgeon to dedicate his career to what really matters, keeping people at their peak performance for life. Why? Because too many people, both men and women, are suffering and not getting any answers from traditional medicine. Fellas, it's time to step up. Help her get her spark back and get yours back too. Go to hormonesandwellness.com. That's where all the information is. Hormonesandwellness.com, because this isn't about getting old. It's about getting right.
Hoping your ride is a safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Right now, the heaviest delays eastbound of I-4 approaching and beyond Princeton due to an incident. Also not due to an incident eastbound approaching 535 on I-4. Southbound of the Turnpike after the Greenway. Again, this is not due to an incident, just some stop-and-go flow. Northbound, we are clear on the Turnpike north and south of the Greenway as well, and no major issues reported anymore on the 408. Our Valvoline instant oil change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Visit C360store.com, your one-stop for printing, apparel decoration, branding, signage, and promotional products from t-shirts to trade shows. New clients save 15%. Ask about free shipping and setup. Claim your free journal now at C360store.com.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you better have a lawyer who understands the traffic rules for big trucks.
And a lawyer who can navigate the hundreds of laws that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Orlando.
Football season is in full swing, and there's no better place to get in on the action than Bet Online, your number one source for all things football. Bet Online has all the latest odds, breaking news, live scores, and even in-game betting, so you'll never miss a moment. From every pro to college football matchup to baseball, cage fighting, and hockey futures, Bet Online keeps you locked into the action all year long. Head to Bet Online today, because at Bet Online, the game starts here.
If you want your windows there in Reese, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Boxing fans, Night of Champions 12 returns to Caribe Royale, Orlando on Friday, September 19th. Undefeated Kevin Brown defends his WBA Continental North America title against Juan Mesa Anguila. Former heavyweight title challenger Luis King Kong Ortiz returns to take on Philip Henson. Plus, undefeated Puerto Rican prospect Roberto Rivera Gomez. And local stars Antrevious Ingram, Jobed Colazo, and Joshua LeBron. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the weather first before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game, honestly. And that is how you lose the game. You're moving the ball down the field. You're 1st and 10, and then you find yourself at 2nd and 20. That was critical.
Everybody's making fun of him for that clip. Kravitz. All he's saying is to win games, you have to not lose the game. Like to make mistakes, things like that. Coach Mortimer Schnurr to win games.
win games, you first have to not lose games. Well, it would be optimal if we scored more points than our opposition this week.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I don't think he's playing hurt this year. I think he's playing fat and happy. I think there's a lot to this NIL-itis. Who was that quarterback you were saying? We were talking about this a week or so ago when I was saying Lagway looked fat and happy last week. And you said there was a quarterback who didn't really take endorsements. Who was that?
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Won the Heisman Trophy. Second overall pick in the draft. TJ Lagway is well on his way to neither of those things as it stands right now, but enjoy your Lamborghini endorsement. I mean, this is the thing too, is maybe that has had no impact on him whatsoever. But when you struggle, people are going to point to that. And then that becomes part of your story.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR, HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Free never sounded so good. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
This segment right here brought to you by Burn Pest Control. They don't just treat the pest problem, they solve it. They burn them. Actually, I don't know what they do, but they just take care of the job, okay? You can trust Joe and his team to keep you protected from the bugs all year long. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz and Mike Bianchi sent you by. Get 10% off your initial service. That's burnpest.com. Boy, this top of the 5 o'clock hour, boy, it really does hit you fast, doesn't it? My goodness. We are up against it time-wise. I like how we get random fantasy questions just in the middle of the show. Did you see the one that's on the text line, Mike?
What was it? Did we did in our fantasy?
Well, yeah, there was one that's asking how we're doing in our fantasy leagues, which I am just I'm blown away that anybody cares how our fantasy teams are doing. Pretty good would be my answer.
Fantastic
across the board. Prodigy says he's doing fantastic, even though he started Darnell Mooney when he was inactive in week 1.
That was 1 week.
And we got a question about Darnell Mooney or Alec Aomaner with the Tennessee Titans. What are you doing? What are you doing? I love fantasy football, but we're stressing about this at 4 o'clock on a Thursday? What are you? Go outside. This is coming from me, okay? I understand Sunday morning, I'm a little bit torn up about Darnell Mooney. What? This should not be a concern of yours on Thursday. They don't play tonight.
Plus, they're not even playing tonight.
And they're not even good. Come on. We got nothing else we can do?
Darnell Mooney got me 4 points last week.
You're better off staring at the sun than worrying about this right now. But I would start Elemaner. I think that's how you pronounce his name, just in case you needed an answer. Text in right now for your chance at today's prize. FSU Kent State tickets. Text Gus Bus. Round and round and round.
And round it goes.
50857. Text Gus Bus into the text line, and we will get one of you hooked up with Florida State Seminoles tickets. Coming up shortly, Bet It or Forget It, the daily game show that'll get you all caught up on the latest in sports. We'll pause for a quick moment. Let the talented folks at Fox Sports Radio get you all caught up with the latest in the sports world. Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz returns in just 60 seconds.